Russell Brand. The comic cuts up over his wife, Katy Perry.
I'm married now, and she would smash my head in.
Fesses up about womanizing days.
I was almost an Olympian heterosexual.
And opens up about drugging and drinking.
Watch out for drugs. They're terrible, kids. Like reefer madness.
He's got something to say about the royal wedding, too. Hold on, watch out. Russell Brand roars. Right now on Larry King Live. Russell Brand, comedian, actor, and best-selling author. His new book is Bookie Wook 2. This time it's personal. He's also a newlywed. We welcome him to Larry King Live. We must say it's an honor to have you here, Sir Russell. Oh, you're not Sir Russell yet.
Not yet, Larry, no, but I think there's an inevitability about that title. Just when I heard you say Sir Russell, I thought, yes, that will happen.
Someday you will be.
I think there is an inertia, there is a gravity pulling me towards a knighthood.
This time it's personal. What's the difference from this time to the first time?
I was actually being rather wry, because my first autobiography was quite an intimate portrait of my troubled and difficult childhood, chartering drug addiction, all manner of abuse and arrest and mild criminality and vagrancy and hullabaloo. So I thought to have the tagline on the sequel, this time it's personal, rather undercut the intimacy of the initial volume.
I think I understand that.
It's English.
Was it difficult? Was it indeed cathartic to write this? You like that word?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. There was an element of catharsis, certainly in the first book, because it was dealing with all the sort of, the addiction and the pain. This book is more about celebrity and the nature of fame, and how surprising it is when you become famous that it's not how it looks from the outside.
Meaning?
Well, what I think, Larry, is that we live in a culture that is spellbound and enchanted by fame, and it's used as a distraction from more significant and important issues. So when you're part of that spectacle, it's sort of fascinating. It's nice to have money and be on Larry King Show. That's really brilliant. But a lot of the things you sort of think, wow, that's really peculiar, because there are so many important things happening, and we're used as a kind of a diversion. It's interesting.
You feel like a thing?
I think you're objectified by fame. I think particularly in the country I'm from, England, they sort of simplify you and say, oh, right, this character, he's like a womanizer, or he's a cad, or he's a troublemaker, and then they just use you, and they remove nuance. Someone said to me, the brilliant filmmaker, Albert Maysles, he said, tyranny is the deliberate removal of nuance. People simplify things, they take away the grey areas. Life is complicated, it's not so simple as Democrat, Republican, good, evil. But we live in a culture, I think, that reduces those things so that they can package ideas and make us passive consumers.
But do you enjoy the fame?
Some bits are good, aren't they? I mean, when I was single, what I really liked is meet lots and lots of different girls.
You were definitely heterosexual.
I was almost an Olympian heterosexual. I really committed to it. I was out there training. I was doing that 100-yard dash. I was the Jesse Owens of heterosexuality. I was standing there before Hitler, proving that he was wrong. But with my trousers down. Which Jesse Owens would never have done.
How many women would you estimate you have bedded?
I don't know, Larry, because I don't like to put a number on it, because it makes me look like a sexist, chauvinist pig. Also, I'm married now, and she would smash my head in. She's like, you're married, aren't you?
Yes.
To Sean, your wife.
Oh, Sean, yes.
I spoke to her on the phone before I came on here. That's genuinely a fact. I did speak to Larry's wife on the phone, and you must not have the kind of control you have on your programme in your house, because she's a strong woman, huh?
Yes, very. Yours too?
I live under a thumb. I seek shelter.
How did you meet Katy? How did you meet her?
Well, I think there was an inevitability to meeting her. I met her on the MT... Well, I don't know. I'm so happy I met her. I think falling in love is the most spectacular and ordinary thing in the world. The people involved in it, oh, this is so fascinating. To the rest of the world, yeah, we've heard it. But, it's a very normal romance.
When it happens to you, you know it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Have you ever been in love?
Evidently not. Now, this feels like a very different experience to me. Because it's sort of she's like a mate. She's more like my friend.
How did you meet?
at the MTV Awards. I was hosting the MTV Awards in Radio City, New York, and it was the rehearsal day, and I was showing off, trying to impress people by being funny and that. And while I was showing off in front of my mates, a bottle arced across the room, struck me on the head from some distance. I looked at the trajectory, using my knowledge of geometry, and worked out that it must have come from Katy Perry's very impressive right arm. I thought, that's very good that she threw that bottle that accurately from that distance, and a woman with an arm that strong, that'll be handy in a marriage.
She really threw a bottle at you?
Yeah.
For
Luckily,
what purpose?
I think it was attention-seeking. It was like a romantic riot. It was a civil rights protest between two people.
What did she say? Did you ask her, why did you throw that bottle at me?
No,
you didn't.
I tried to assimilate it into my everyday life, Larry. I didn't want to act like, oh, I'd been ruffled, kerfuffled, undermined by this act. So I just went, a bottle striking me on the head. Reminds me of the old days, back in Blighty, England, Albany, Albion, the Queen's country, where the riots are relentless, where we're always campaigning for something, normally more socialism.
So you never said to her, why did you strike me with the bottle?
I've never asked why she did that, because I think it's evident that she was using it to punctuate the slew of ordinary encounters that I was having. Giggling, chuckling women, the sweet scent of them, the pinkness of their cheeks, or the rich coffee colour, depending on the hue of the day. None of them had thrown a bottle at me before.
When did you fall in love?
Immediately, I think.
Really? Her too?
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, we've not discussed.
I mean, so when it happens, like, you can't believe it, can you?
I think it's a phenomenal thing. And
it's always a shock.
Always a shock. And what I like, Larry, is the acknowledgement of love between two people registers the capacity for all of us to love one another. It makes me feel more abundant love for all people. And I think that this is what we should be building our culture around. Now, I know that it's very difficult to build an economic system around love, but it's better than building one around greed.
Why did you name it Bookie Wook?
I'm childish. Also, though...
Because it could be a children's book.
Yeah, to lure in children. Shepard Fairey did the cover of this book. Shepard Fairey, the great artist who did the Obama Hope campaign, he done that, and he's brilliant. The reason I called it Bookie Wook, because, well, for two reasons. One, it's childish and dissonant, and the first book had lots of, it was kind of colourful, you know. I had a difficult childhood as a junkie, all that madness. So I thought, call it My Bookie Wook to undercut it and make it sound sort of childish. Also, though, the great writer Anthony Burgess, who wrote the novel Clockwork Orange, the protagonist, Alex, speaks, he talks about, my gutty woots and eggy wegs.
And the bard, he speaks of the bard.
Yes, because like a language, I think, becomes like, if you think of the way that people speak or the language on TV, it becomes like a white noise. You don't really listen, whether it's an oil spill or a murder or what else, someone being given a Lifetime Achievement Award or whatever it is, just this white noise of language. So I think if you disrupt language by inventing words, Bookie Wook, it's silly, it's childish, then it's sort of like, it interrupts your thinking.
How early did addiction begin for you?
I think immediately. Some people believe that addiction is inherent within people. Like when I was a kid, I used to eat too much chocolate or get involved in sort of self-harming, and then like as soon as I found drugs, it was like a medicinal relief immediately, an anaesthetic.
How old were you?
I think I started becoming like properly into drugs 15, 16, and I was like a junkie by 19. Got much worse around. Like it sort of came in episodes really, and was terrifyingly like a government issue leaflet. I started like with marijuana, and then sort of like amphetamines, and then cocaine, and then crack, then heroin. Exactly like it would be if it was like, watch out for drugs, they're terrible, kids. Like reefer madness. It was like a warning from the government, and I'm quite a liberal-minded gentleman.
But you didn't lose, obviously. Well, let's ask it this way. How did you get off them?
I went into a rehabilitation facility, and there are many, thank God, fellowships where people with addiction problems everywhere in the world, there are fellowships.
Where did you go?
My rehabilitation facility, yes, was in Great Britain. They pack you off there for 3 months. You're not allowed any drugs, any at all, and it's very tricky there, Larry. They give you sleeping. The only drug you're allowed is at the beginning. They have sleeping pills, because when you come off heroin, it's ever so difficult to get to sleep. You lay in bed, you're hot, you're cold, your legs go all kicky. That's where the phrase "kick the habit" comes from, because your legs go all kicky. And like they say, you have a sleeping pill to get you off. But because I was a junkie, I'd start taking the sleeping pill at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Because if you stay awake on a sleeping pill, you feel drowsy.
And you beat it, though?
One day at a time.
Every temptation to go back?
No. Well, of course, I think with addiction, it's something you have to be very, very careful of.
Daily?
Yeah, every day, one day at a time. I think that's the only way you can beat addiction, just one day at a time. For me, it's about not taking drugs or drinking alcohol today. I've got my 3 delicious Larry King beverages here, but none of them is booze or drugs, unless your team have lied to me.
Our guest is Russell Brand. The book is Bookie Wook 2,
This time, it's personal, and I hope he has defeated the habit. It does not, it appear at this point, to be true. We'll be right back.
Larry King Live, brought to you by Ford. Drive the Ford difference at your local Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer.
We're back with Russell Brand, the comedian, actor, best-selling author of the new book, Bookie Wook 2. This time it's personal and almost guaranteed bestseller. It's a joy to have him with us on Larry King Live. We're in our last month of doing this program, and it's an honor that you would be in this last month.
It's a great privilege to be here at any time.
Our privilege to have you.
Is it? We're both privileged. Remember, I'm English, and in any situation where politeness comes up, I have to be most polite. So if you're polite to me, I will be
I am polite to you.
Well, I'm going to be more polite.
Okay. What is...
I love your set, and I recognise your country is no longer a colony, sir. I tip my hat. Well done with the Boston Tea Party, but these new tea parties I'm not so sure of.
All right, tell me about Katy Perry. First, what is she really like?
She's like a laugh. She's a normal person, really, really smart, very determined, clever, shoots from the hip and from the heart.
Are
She's
you
very
an
cool.
admirer of her talent?
Yeah, man. Like, when I saw her do a performance at the EMAs the other day, she's phenomenal. Like, that's the thing that's, like, exciting about maybe fame or showmen, show women. It's like, when she was performing, I thought, oh, my word, she's phenomenal. What an incredible gift. Her voice, the songs are brilliant, the dancing, she's such a great entertainer. But, like, aside from that thing, she's like just a laugh and a normal person and easy to hang out with. It's the most normal relationship I've ever had, probably because there's just one of her.
How did you propose?
It was midnight, New Year's Eve, in Jaipur, India. A blue moon hung low in the sky.
You're kidding me, or
No, this is serious. You can't... Romance and comedy are serious things. So it was a blue moon, once in a blue moon. We'd we ate together in a garlanded tent, like floral garlands hung. We'd walked down...
What were you doing there?
I went there to ask her to marry me.
You took her to India?
Took her to India to ask her. Thought,
Why
get her in
didn't you
India.
just ask her?
Disorientate her.
Why don't you just ask her in Britain or Hollywood or...
Why would you do that? Go to a country like India, all vibrant with spirituality, where you can see God in people's eyes. Where
Did she ask you, why are we going to India?
She asked a lot of questions, but eventually I just got the chloroform over her mouth, chucked her in a suitcase, off we go.
Ah, good thinking, Russell.
Like a pirate.
Okay, now
Like vagabonds.
you're in India. Then what? It's midnight, New Year's Eve.
Midnight New Year's Eve. Oh, it's really good. Everything sounds like news when you do it. Everything sounds like current affairs. Your diary must sound wonderful. Even just you cooking eggs would have gravitas.
Back to New Year's Eve.
Right, so like, the thing was, it was full of all sort of like, it was like, I wanted it to be all grand and memorable, so flowers and like lit torches. We walked like down a pathway at night, gentlemen in turbans holding lit torches. Suddenly as midnight struck, we mounted an elephant. We got on the elephant, it took us off to a clearing, but midnight, New Year's Eve, there's a lot of fireworks go off, and we were on the back of an elephant, and elephants do not like fireworks, Larry.
Didn't know that.
It's a learning experience, in a way.
What did they do?
They go like that. They recoil in horror.
Did you fall off?
No, I had to sort of, because I didn't want to undermine the romance of the situation, so don't worry, dear, this is all part of the experience, just relax. Just held her hand tightly and thought I could probably control it.
So you were both on the same elephant?
Absolutely, yeah, there's no point.
Not side by side elephant?
No, we're on one elephant, like an emblem of our unity.
Now, doesn't she think at this point you're a little weird?
I imagine so, yes, I imagine so.
But she's in love.
She's in love, there's a blue moon, there's an elephant, there's a lot going on. It's difficult to think.
So how did you say it? What did you say?
We got off that elephant sharpish because things were going wrong. So, then we walked off to a clearing, and suddenly all the grandiosity and all of the gestures and the magic melted away into the simplicity of a moment between two people when you realise that there is a kind of... I got sort of carried... It was very, very emotional, because really, in a way, asking someone to marry you is just saying a thing. It's just like saying a thing like, oh, I'm really... Like at school, when you have to apologise, or when you're arrested and you have to go, oh, yeah, no, I won't do it again, it was him, they weren't my drugs. It's just saying words, but, like, there was a sincerity, and it felt like an oath. That's why I take the institution of marriage very seriously, and the presence of God very seriously. Some things are very profound.
Did you say, will you marry me?
Yeah, I did, but I said it all quiet. Like, my voice went strange.
Say it again.
I can't say it to you, Larry.
I know.
What if it's legally binding?
Oh.
What a way to go off. In the last month, Larry King does a civil rights partnership with former junkie madman Russell Brand. Although, all right, let's try it.
That would be a story. Let me see your ring.
This is the ring, Larry. My wedding ring, as a matter of fact. I went on one knee. I asked her to marry me. Let me see your wedding ring, if I may be so
I'll
bold.
take mine off. But yours looks like, forgive me, it's a beautiful ring, but it looks on the female side.
Well, because we've got the same rings, me and the wife, and like, she chooses, right? You can't say to a woman, I don't like your wedding ring, it's too feminine. She gets smack in the mouth. So I just went with it. Look at your one, anyway. Yours is like...
Mine bends.
It's like something from Houdini. It's like Houdini's foreskin. Look at it. It's like magic and trickery.
Houdini's foreskin. That's sick.
That's sick.
Okay, I'll wear this. The rest of the show, we wear this, then we exchange.
And then what, we go back to each other's wives and live double lives? I with your wife, you with mine. Will anyone notice? They'll notice, that's for damn sure as mustard.
Our guest is Russell Brand. The book is Bookie Wook 2. I can't wait to read it. We'll be right back.
Screw you, Russell! Stick to UK politics and keep out of US politics! I like that he seems to think that I'm a kind of errant political TV broadcaster. That I'm Larry King running amok.
If you've just joined us, we are wearing each other's rings for some preposterous reason.
And who dare judge us?
That's right.
If we choose to wed Larry, then so
Damn
be
thee,
it.
damn thee.
Damn them all.
Okay, Russell Brand's our guest. If you tuned in, right away you sized up it was not Bill Clinton. The book is Bookie Wook 2.
Yeah.
This time it's personal. Here's what Katie
I admit it when I do it.
Katie described you, your looks, as a combination of Charles Manson,
Yes.
Jesus,
Yes.
Jim Morrison,
Okay.
plus a little bit of Elvis.
I'm happy with that.
By the way,
Except for the Charles Manson. I mean, the way he carried
that's a
on.
little rough.
Terrible
I
business.
knew Jim Morrison. You do look like Jim Morrison.
Thanks.
I did. Jim Morrison was maybe the handsomest man ever.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's just run this again, 'cause this is breaking news.
You're a good-looking man.
You're saying I look like the handsomest man ever?
Yes.
Well, my God, Larry, if I wasn't already wearing your wedding ring, I'd be requesting it now.
Right.
Because that is the nicest things anyone's ever said to me.
When did this... You got married in India?
Yes.
Came back from India?
Yes.
And found a dwelling?
Found a dwelling,
Where?
New York.
You live in New York.
Yeah.
Now, how do you combine juggling careers? You, an actor, comedian.
Yes.
She, a singer of famed renown. Why am I talking like
I
that?
love it. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Like, because she works a lot, I work a lot, we're all over the place. We have to try and combine our schedules, try not to leave each other apart for too long. It's nice. So it works out all right for me. Sometimes we have a week apart or 10 days apart, but we work it out sort of so that we can see each other. See her this morning, I'll see her tomorrow. It works out.
Do you
It works out
want
pretty well.
children?
Yeah, I do, actually. Sometimes I try and be cool about it and say, oh, no, I don't want children because they'll make me weak. Like in a film, people go weak when they've got children. They kidnap your kids, don't they? If this was a Mel Gibson film, the kids would be gone in no time at all. So, but actually, I love them. The little fellas, all wry, full of innocence, beauty.
Do you think you'd be a good father?
I think so, mate, because I really like fun and I engage with other people's children very well, but I'm not sure about all that discipline and telling them what to do. I always, when children are doing stuff, I always think, oh, it looks like a laugh.
So you would not be a disciplinarian?
I would prevent them from doing things that might harm them or be potentially illegal.
Potentially illegal.
Yeah, I would always carry with me a copy of the Constitution of the United States. And I'd say, the right to bear arms, yep, that's there, carry on.
So now, what are you now, Russell? Writer, stand-up comedian, actor, all of the above?
Comedian, I think, primarily. Like, that whatever I do, I try to infuse it with some comedy.
Do you do a stand-up act?
Yeah, that's my favourite thing, stand-up, because then you're directly there with the audience. You can look into their eyes, you can hear them laughing, plus you can get away with saying crazy stuff when the people are in the room, because you can slowly build consensus.
Are you a little bit like a British Robin Williams, like a stream of consciousness?
I love that Robin Williams, he's a genius. So, yes. So now, Jim Morrison and Robin Williams, this is a good combination.
Very good.
Unless I got
Manson,
Robin
no.
Williams' body hair and Jim Morrison's drug habit.
That would not be good.
Who needs that? And the
Okay.
Charles Manson, yeah, we're parking that, aren't we? Because,
Are you doing a remake of Arthur?
I've done it. I've done it here in New York City.
Finished?
Yep,
Oh,
I've
now,
shaved and
Did
everything.
you see the Dudley Moore film?
Well, of course, I love
Okay.
Dudley Moore. I'm from like 10 miles away from where
The
he's
danger
from.
in that, though, is that alcohol is the theme of that film.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, he's an idiot man-child savant. Alcoholism in the film Arthur is not, oh, the tragedy. It's more, well, if you
Yeah,
didn't
but-
have a job and you was rich,
But the
why
guy
not get
drinks
drunk?
through the whole movie.
Yeah, because he's got nothing else to do. Like, I mean, I think if you're not addicted to alcohol and you haven't got a job and you are a billionaire, you might as well get drunk all day. Right, Bill Gates?
Now,
So I'm
since you're sober, was it hard to play drunk?
What I've done, right, Larry, is I have bottles of booze, like with lids on, and I'd smell them all the time to get myself in the mood. Like I thought, right, this is a tequila scene, so I'd have a smell of tequila or a smell of scotch or whatever. And then just like, you know, it's sort of easy. If you drink a lot of the time, it's kind of easy to remember it. I used to drink a lot of stuff, so I've got a lot of sense memory for being drunk. I spent, I think, 15 years drunk.